Hi, I'm Dean Vera and welcome to my channel. Today I will talk about the Whang OD versus the Nas Daily issue. I am a law school dean and also a law school professor. Please free to explore my channels. I make videos about legal issues, I do commentaries, and I do law school advice. It would help me a lot if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. Let's begin. Doing some research on this issue, I found there are several points to talk about. But I'm going to narrow it down to the actual legal point of the contract signing. I know you want to hear about whether there's some cultural misappropriation, or whether there is some profiting from a cultural heritage. That's going to be another video or another topic altogether. I'm just going to briefly talk about whether the contract that was signed by Whang allegedly has any legal or binding effect, and its implications as to the translation and the thumbprint signature. From what I gathered under the news reports from CNN, Rappler, and GMA, Mr. Yassin, a Palestinian Israeli, created an academy in Singapore where they give classes on how-tos, how to better yourself, or practically how to make money. A quick look at the NAS Academy website showed several tutorial videos on basically how to make money. I would say around 90%. Now, he was going to have a Whang OD Academy, a tutorial videos on the Kalinga method of tattooing. Recently, in the past week of August, a niece of Whang OD claimed that Whang OD never actually signed the document or signed the contract and said that this person is profiteering or abusing the cultural heritage of the Kalinga tattoos. Whether there is some exploitation, I leave it up to the others to decide. What I'm going to talk about today is whether the contract is binding or has effect. As claimed by Nas Daily, the Nas Academy has a contract with Whang OD to talk about or offer how to do the Kalinga method of tattooing. According to Nas Daily, a niece of Whang OD translated the contract and explained to Whang OD, and she gave her consent through a thumbprint. Now, is a thumbprint valid as a contract? Technically, as far as agreeing to a contract, what you need from both parties is consent to enter into the contract. Whether that consent is given by a nod, a handshake, a thumbprint, or a physical signature, all you need to do is prove that consent was given to the terms and conditions of the contract. Normally, when a person is illiterate or cannot read or write, a thumbprint may suffice because a thumbprint is a unique signature, if you will, to a person. Affixing the thumbprint could signify that the person gave consent to the contract or agreed to perform the obligations in the contract. As you know, a handshake is just as sufficient as a signature. So a thumbprint then would be valid if it is not denied or it is proven to be given voluntarily. What I want to point out is whether Whang OD actually understood the contract. Nas Daily gave a contract in English. Nas Daily allegedly or is saying that there was a contract and it was translated in a language that is understood by Whang OD. My point is, why was the contract in English? If NAS Academy claims to have over millions in revenue from his tutorial videos, couldn't he have just written a contract, hired a lawyer, and written it in the language familiar to Whang OD? In the counterpoint, if Whang OD can't read at all, then whether it be in English, Arabic, Spanish, or Italian, it won't matter as long as the terms and conditions are explained to her and she understood it as what she's supposed to do or what she's supposed to give, then the language is immaterial. What we have to check or we have to verify is whether the niece who allegedly translated the contract actually gave an accurate translation. Was the niece herself literate in English or in legal terms? In the Philippines, we give academic freedom to our instructors, meaning as long as the requirements of the lesson is given, a professor has the freedom on how to teach it, whether through visual means, verbal means, or with visual aids. Unfortunately, the videos or the Whang OD Academy in the Nas Academy website was taken down. So therefore, I could not see how the method of tattooing was going to be taught. We don't know also whether the instructor for those videos is Whang OD herself. The ultimate legal issue here is whether Whang OD understood the contract that she signed. Right now, a grandniece is purporting to say that Whang OD never actually agreed to the contract. Whether there is truth to that statement, I would rather hear from Whang OD herself. She's been interviewed several times already in many YouTube videos. In fact, she was already praised and given an award by the NCCA in 2018, and she came down here in Metro Manila to receive that award. So I'm sure she is surrounded by people who can explain to her fully what the contract is. We have to have a good faith belief in the contract. At this point, it boils down to the niece who allegedly translated the contract for Whang OD to agree and to sign. Let me pose this to you. If Nas Academy or Nas Daily is adamant in the dealings with Whang OD, if they say they have a legal contract and they did everything above board, why did they take the videos down? According to their press release, Nas Daily or Nas Academy took down the videos to avoid further backlash. I believe that is an appropriate move for Nas Academy because it will ease the tensions in what's happening now. Right now, a lot of people are saying their comments about it. Even the government agencies doing some made a press release saying that they will look into any possible violations of appropriate laws with regards to the exploitation of the cultural heritage. But is there an exploitation? Just think, what if it was singing? Can a choir master or a musician or an orchestra master interpret Philippine folk songs or Philippine cultural music? Would that be misappropriation? As a side note to this controversy, I would like to add, would there be any intellectual property issues regarding this situation? If the contract was about how Whang OD would instruct or give tutorials on how to make Kalinga cultural tattoos, I believe that there are no IP issues. Education is an exception to copyright infringement, but nevertheless, tattoos by itself are actual copyrighted work. But it has to be fixated in a medium. I believe skin is a medium. Once a tattoo is put on the skin or written into the skin, that itself is artwork. But if you are teaching the same, there are no violations as to copyright. Since I have not seen the videos or the tutorials on Whang OD's Kalinga tattoos, I can't make a legal definition as to whether there are any IP or intellectual property violations. I have just presented my side on this controversy. If you have any other points that you want to discuss, please feel free to comment down below and we can have an open discussion. Hi, please do me a favor and smash that like button. It'll help me a lot and it will trigger the YouTube algorithm. Now, if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel. If you don't, my dog will eat this exam booklet and that student has to repeat his final exam again.